Hi, my name is Ashley Johnson, and the lesson that I chose for my lesson plan is finding the measures of average. So, what I would do for my classroom, just like I put in my lesson plan, is I would begin introducing this activity and lesson to my students by first talking about a data set. And I would tell them how a data set is a set of numbers that are particular to one specific topic. So, as my example, I said that I would use all of the ages of the students in my classroom. So, each student we would go through, we would ask what their age is, and I would probably utilize my whiteboard for this. And I would write down all of the ages in no particular order. I would just go through probably like as they are seated and write down their ages. And then I would tell them, okay, we have all of these numbers in no particular order that have made a data set. And then after I have covered that, I would say from this point, now that we have our data set, we have our numbers, we could then calculate our mean, the median, the mode, and the range. So I would probably start with ordering the numbers from least to greatest. And then I would tell them, okay, so if we have all of our numbers, we've ordered them least to greatest, we can now add them up and get a sum. So once we have averaged all of our numbers and we come up with one total, we have our mean. And then next I would talk about how now that they are ordered, we would have either one number in the center, and that would be our median. Although with a median, you can have one, two, or none, no median. So I would, if we had two numbers in the center, I would tell them, okay, so we need to take these two numbers, we're going to add them together, and then we will divide them by the number of values that we have in the data set, and that would become our median. And then from there, we would talk about mode. And mode is the number that we have in our data set that occurs the most. So I would say if we took our ages from a classroom, our mode would probably be very easy to pick out because most of the students that are in the same class are more than likely going to be around the same age. So that would be pretty easy to determine our mode for a data set of that type. And then we would talk about our range. So to get your range, you would take the number that was the least and the number that you have that is the greatest, and you would find the difference. So you would take your greatest number, subtract your least number, and that would be your range for that data set. And within a data set, there could be a numerical data set. You could have objects in your data set. So there's different types of data sets that you can have when you're finding your means of average. But the process for each and the way that you calculate each of these would be the same. You would still add them all together to get a sum. You would still find the one that occurred the most. You would find the object or the numbers that are in the middle, in the center. So that is how I would teach the lesson to my students about finding the means of average. And then as I mentioned in my lesson plan, we would then do an activity of stacking the Oreos, which I think that students would really be interested in that activity. Once we got done with finding all of our calculations, I would tell the students, okay, now you can eat your Oreos, and who doesn't love to eat Oreos? So that is my lesson plan on finding the measures of average.